I honestly was not quite sure if I should make this video today. In fact, I even considered not publishing a video at all this week, but then I thought, well, what the heck, I want to talk about it, so let's do it. Couple of things. First, yes, I'm going to talk about the blockchain. Yes, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. No, most of the things I'm going to talk about, people are not going to like. In fact, I'm completely expecting that this is going to be the most disliked video I ever made. But what the heck? But yes, I'm going to talk about it anyway, because I think it's really important to understand what's going on. But before I do that, first of all, hello everybody. In case you're new here, my name is Michael Wagner. I teach at the Antoinette Westphal College of Media Arts and Design at Drexel University in Philadelphia. And on this channel, I talk about digital media, game design, and spatial audio. And if any of those things interest you, please consider subscribing. If you have any comments, please use the comment section below or join my Discord server. Link is in the description below. It's free and there are a lot of nice people there. And you can chat around about all kinds of topics. Now, with that being said, let's get right to the question I want to address today. The starting point for my video today is a video that was posted a couple of weeks ago by a YouTuber named Dan Olson. He runs a YouTube channel called Folding Ideas. I'm going to post a link to that video in the description below. The video is called Line Goes Up, the problem with NFTs. And in it, Dan Olson explains where NFTs, at least in his understanding, come from and why blockchain technology and NFTs are actually dangerous and should be avoided as much as possible. Now, there are two things I need to say. Well, first of all, as all of you know, or at least most of you who are watching my channel, I'm a fan of blockchain technology. I do believe there's a bright future in this particular technology. I'm not buying in all the NFT things that are going on right now. I think 95% of those things are scams and weird, or at least kind of playful, trying to figure out what we can do with this technology. I do believe there is a use case underneath that we will try, or that we will figure out over the next couple of years. The second thing is I'm also a big fan of Dan Olson. His YouTube channel is excellent. His videos are outstanding. He does something that people would consider critical media studies. So he is creating these video essays as a media critic, really. That's what he's doing. And many of his videos are required watching for my students. So there are a couple of videos on the flat earth theory where he goes into QAnon, or another video where he talks about Gamergate. And these are things that I actually require my students to watch. So these are excellent analysis of what essentially is going on with media. And if you have not heard about the channel, I invite you to follow him because his stuff is really, really great. Now, the problem is that in this particular video, he made a couple of mistakes that bother me. And I originally wanted to create a full reaction video, but the problem with that really is that Dan Olson's video are so well produced, and my video is just me babbling on. So I figured this is probably not a good idea for somebody like me to kind of create a reaction video to something that is that well produced. Maybe at some point, you know, kind of if I create videos with that production quality, I will do that as well. But at the moment, I didn't think it was that appropriate. But I nevertheless wanted to kind of make one point that I think that is really critical, that questions the entire video that he created. And that's really unfortunate because he makes the same mistake that he usually kind of tries to point out that other people are making. The critical mistake that he's making is that his base assumptions are wrong, because he is buying in what I call the Bitcoin myth. Now, what do I mean by Bitcoin myth? Now, for those of you that are in contact with people who are kind of dealing with Bitcoin, you're probably aware that there is this infamous white paper, the Bitcoin white paper, that was created by this mysterious figure, and that essentially tries to revolutionize the financial markets. So in essence, there are really two parts to this Bitcoin myth. And the first part is that blockchain technology was created as a consequence of the 2008 financial crisis. And the main purpose really of this creation was to replace the current financial system. And the second part of this myth is that the purpose of the blockchain itself is the creation of cryptocurrencies. So essentially, we only have blockchain because we wanted to have Bitcoin. The problem is that this couldn't be more wrong. And in order to understand what I'm talking about, we need to look a little bit into the history of computer science, in particular into a field which is called distributed ledger technology. And in distributed ledger technology, what they're trying to figure out are ways how to store transactions securely. This is a problem that has been around for decades, really. It has been the starting point for the development of the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. It has been the starting point for many research projects that resulted in many Turing Awards, which are the most important important in words in computer science. In fact, there is a very good textbook. I'm going to post a link in the description below and probably an image here somewhere that gives you some historical perspective on distributed ledger technology. And the important thing to understand is that blockchain really grew out of that investigation of distributed ledger technology. It's really an evolutionary step in that development. So blockchain technology is not a revolution. It is an evolutionary step in a technology that has existed for a long time. Nothing that's in the Bitcoin paper is new. Everything that's in there has already existed before. Even the proof of work concept is 10 years older than the Bitcoin paper. And that essentially means that it cannot revolutionize the financial system because it is an evolutionary progression of the financial system. It comes out of the things that drive the financial system. So when then Olson talks about how this idea of creating a cryptocurrency that will replace the current financial system is just nonsense because it's not really replacing anything, I have to say, yes, that is obvious because it grew out of it. It is nothing but the current financial system in a new technological viewpoint, or from a new technological viewpoint that allows us to do things differently, but it's not going to be a complete revolution. Now, you could argue that this doesn't actually make any difference, right? I mean, his analysis still should hold true, and kind of his analysis is quite good. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is a very complex field, and I think he did a marvelous job in bringing everything into a digestible kind of story that you can actually follow, and kind of trying to really explain the different aspects of this highly complex technology. But that's actually not completely correct. The problem is that he starts with a myth and then essentially through his analysis essentially proves that this was a myth, and that means that this becomes a circular argument. If you want to really make an analysis of this technology, you have to start where it actually started. You have to start with the distributed ledger technologies of the 1970s, and then you have to develop your theory based on that. You cannot start with a narrative that is based around the myth and then disprove the very same myth that you started with. That's just not the way things work. Now, I have to say that because at the very beginning, Dan Olson kind of talks about that this is his opinion. He wants to essentially present his opinion. This makes this an opinion piece. And as an opinion piece, it's perfectly fine. I think it's very watchable. It's very entertaining, and I recommend everybody to actually watch it. There are many things in there that are really interesting. He essentially puts the finger on many wounds that hurt, and anybody who is really interested in cryptocurrencies should really watch that from the beginning to the end. But we need to take it with a grain of salt because once again, his actual final big argument is circular. And that is an issue. Now, with respect to the second part of the myth, the idea that the purpose of the blockchain is to enable the creation of cryptocurrencies, I would advise you to watch my blockchain video that I did a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to post a link in the description below. The thing is that this is actually not completely correct. I mean, many people think of it that way, but it's actually not really the case. The cryptocurrencies really enable the blockchain. It's not the blockchain that enables the cryptocurrency. It's the cryptocurrency that enables the blockchain. The cryptocurrency really is the incentive system that makes sure that there is consensus in the distributed network that drives the blockchain. And that essentially means that the cryptocurrency is a consequence of the blockchain and not the other way around. And if you want to know more about that, once again, I have a blockchain video that I'm going to post a link to in the description below. But it's really important to understand that the relationship between cryptocurrency and blockchain is not necessarily the way the general public thinks it is. It's actually a little bit the other way around. Now, I said at the very beginning that I didn't want to do a full reaction video to Dan Olson's video, and that is simply because I feel the production value of my videos is not at the level that would make it appropriate for me to really react to a video that is produced with such a high production value. Dan Olson puts a lot of effort into his videos. There is a significant amount of preparation that goes into those. His arguments are made at a very high level. They're very succinct. They are very on point. And reacting to those requires me, or would require me, to essentially follow the same level of quality and the same level of scrutiny. And I simply don't have the time to do that. I do have a very demanding day job, so this is just not something I can do. However, if the community is interested in me kind of giving it a try, I would certainly be open to that. So if that's something you want me to do, leave a comment in the comment section below and I can certainly give it a try, because I do believe that there are a couple of things in this video that would benefit from an explanation, or that would benefit from a clarification, let's put it that way. Then Olsen got a lot of things very right, but there are a couple of things that he got wrong, and kind of usually they are not that big of a deal, but they do shift the story a little bit. So it sometimes makes sense to kind of look at his arguments and kind of try to clarify a couple of technological things there. But once again, nothing of critical importance. Now, for me, it was important to make this video for a couple of reasons. I do recommend his videos to everybody. So when he put out this video, a lot of people came to me and said, well, Michael, you're recommending this channel, and now this channel is contradicting what you're saying. So I needed to make this clarification. I also do believe that it is important at some point to really clarify that the way the public sees the blockchain and the way the public sees Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general is to 90% wrong. And there is a bright future in this technology that will look completely different from what we're doing now, but that will be there. And the reason this bright future is there is because this is a technology that has been in development for 50 and more years. And that's something that needs to be said at some point, because if we don't say that, essentially people will continue to buy in the wrong narrative. Now, this is really everything I wanted to say today. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please don't forget to press the like button. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below, or join my Discord server. Once again, invite link in the description below. And with that being said, see you at the next video.